Welcome to the 10th sector of this round the world low cost challenge, where I'm attempting to fly eastbound around the world, recreating real world flights using the June 2022 schedule for low cost airlines in the real world, but of course here in the virtual world in prepared 3D version 4.5. We're starting this 10th sector where we left off in the last video, and that's here in the Edmonton International Airport in Alberta, Canada. And in today's episode we continue eastbound, this time to Toronto. And we're doing it on board the PMDG 737-800 in the livery of Flair Canada, who are a fairly recent low-cost airline in what seems to be in 2022 a growing low-cost phenomenon in Canada. However, looking at this livery for Flair Canada, I have to admit it's probably the ugliest livery I've ever seen in an airline yet. And I know that's probably going to get me lots of hate comments, but you know, even EasyJet's orange paint scheme or Spirit Airlines' yellow paint scheme, this is pretty awful in my opinion. Anyway, back to today's flight across Canada. Let's jump into Simbrief. We're going to be departing on runway 2 here in Edmonton before heading east-southeast in the direction of Toronto and Toronto Pearson International Airport. So basically guys, we'll be crossing the majority of southern Canada. And while I doubt this would happen in the real world on this particular flight across Canada, I do briefly cross the US-Canadian border at one point during this flight. But let's face it, the scenery on this flight across Canada will be pretty unremarkable. Well, until we reach the Great Lakes and descend towards Toronto and Lake Ontario. Right now that I've insulted most Canadians watching the channel, let's jump into the cockpit of this PMDG 737-800 and get this Flair service from Edmonton across Canada to Toronto.
Fly runway heading, climb and maintain altitude 11,000. Departure frequency is 120-45, squawk 4776.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback. Locking gear. Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will. Set parking brakes. No truck disconnect. Bypass it. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Fire 8101, taxi holding, white front, runway 2. Taxiway Quebec Bravo. Contact tower on 118.81 ready.
The scenery that I've got installed in prepared 3D version 4.5 today is from FS Studios and their version of Edmonton International in Alberta. While the scenery is pretty awesome, it's more than I can say for the Flair livery on this PMDG 737-800. It's still not growing on me as it oozes cheapness.
Fire 8101, clear for takeoff, runway 2, 7054 at 8.
On runway 02.
Most of you who follow the channel on a regular basis will know that I'm using ActiveSky and ActiveSky Cloud Art in Prepared 3D version 4.5. While ActiveSky supplies an awesome weather engine to the sim, including live weather and historic weather, ActiveSky Cloud Art provides an incredible level of realism when it comes to the clouds. Anyway, back to today's flight across southern Canada. There's really not a lot to tell you. As I climbed this PMDG 737-800 to our initial cruise altitude, dodging thunderstorms as I climbed. In reality, the only thing exciting about this flight across Canada was the amount of thunderstorms that I dodged between Alberta and Ontario. And this would continue the entire flight all the way down to runway 05 in Toronto Pearson International. And for those interested, the scenery that I've got installed for Toronto Pearson is from FlyTampa, who in my opinion are one of the best scenery developers for Prepared and are absolutely on top of their game, like those from Orbx FS Dream Team and Flightbeam Studios.
Approaching decision plane. 200 decision plane. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20. 10.
I have no idea what happened in that landing, but clearly the weather was all over the place. And as you can see here on the ground in Toronto, the storm cells were extremely localized. Anyway, we're down in one piece, so welcome to Toronto's Pearson International Airport, as provided here in Prepared 3D version 4.5 by FlyTampa. And this will be the last Boeing 737 in a round the world low-cost challenge, as the last two flights ahead will be flown on Airbus. The next sector being a transatlantic sector on board the Aerosoft Airbus A330-300. So if you want to continue to follow the channel and the last two sectors in this mini-series, you know what to do, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to be notified when the next video is published. Thank you so much for watching, and whenever you're flying in your virtual world, don't forget to fly safe.